Hi guys, this is me Gayatri Prakash and welcome to my page. എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ പേജിലോട്ട് സ്വാഗതം. So today I would like to discuss with you all about what are the common mistakes that we are doing in our OET writing and how to overcome it. Okay, so let's move on to the topic. So what is the first mistake that you used to do in our OET writing is poor handwriting, because handwriting is the best impression. For the first impression is the best impression, right? So the handwriting is the first impression of our evaluators, because OET writing will be evaluated by someone. It's a humans, right? So it's a manual correction. So the person who is reading our letter, they must to understand what we are about to say about our patient, and what we want to convey, the message about our patient should be legible. Then only they able to read it. Okay, she wants to say about her patient condition in this way. And also the way we are writing the letter, the presentation, appearance of the letter, neatness. So these all are the first impression of the evaluators. So that's why handwriting is very important, and it has to be elegant, it has to be neat, it has to be legible, and also easy to read it without any spelling mistakes. Okay, so this is the main first error what we are doing in our OET writing. So try to write it in a neat way, and also it should be clear and the people well able to read it and understand that what exactly you want to convey the message about your patient. Okay, the second mistake is poor organization and layout. So what is a poor organization? Which means write a letter in a proper letter format, and also organize the information, where to write present medical history, and where to write the social background, and where to write the discharge plan, because we should not mismatch the passages and the informations thereby, which leads to poor organization, and the people will not understand who is evaluating your letter that what she wants to say about the patient. I couldn't understand even a single sentence. So that will happen in poor organization. And the layout, the letter should be in the letter format, it should not be in the passage. So multiple passage will not give you the letter structure. So letter, which means it should have some introduction, it should have some body paragraphs, and it should have the conclusion. So this is the letter structure. So when you are writing multiple passages, which is giving you the appearance of the passages, paragraphs, it won't give you the letter structure. Okay, and the third error is punctuation. So lack of punctuation also will cause to reduce our marks in our OET writing. For example, when you are using WHO, for example, who, which, so before using these all the words you have to put comma, it is mandatory. And also when you are using in addition, comma, we need it. And when we are using for example, when we are using like symptoms, after for each symptoms we put comma. And the medicines, and when you are using the connector therefore, so before that you must use the semicolon, and after therefore you have to put comma. And during the hospital stay, so in that situations we need to use our punctuations. That is a very important thing. So poor punctuation also, lack of punctuation also will cause to reduce our mark. And the next error is poor connectivity, lack of continuity, mismatching the information. What's that? For example, you are writing a present medical history paragraph. Usually what will write it in our present medical history paragraph? From the date of admission to date of discharge, what all the things and the treatment has been given to the patient, how the patient reacted to the treatment, and what is the prognosis of the patient, and when the patient is getting discharged. So these all are the information we are writing. In case if your patient completed with a surgery, so we are writing post-operative period, and during the post-operative period what all the things happen to the patient, how we have treated the patient, and what about the prognosis and dietary pattern and exercise, mobility, physiotherapy, medications, and how about the prognosis at the time of discharge. So these all are things will be narrated in the present medical history paragraph. In that paragraph, if you are writing a social background, which means thereby we are mismatching the information, so poor connectivity over there, and the person who is reading our letter will not understand what exactly we have written in our present medical history paragraph. So this is the way we have to avoid, like where to write present medical history, there we must write only about the present medical history which is related to the hospital stay. And where to write the social background, there you are writing about the patient, so past medical history, social background, and where to live and how the patient is living, what are about your habits. These all are the information which has to be written in our social background. So it is very important to like avoid mismatching, lack of continuity, because these are the major part that we are doing mistakes in our OET writing. Okay, and another thing is over usage of the connectors, because in our letter it's not mandatory that we have to start each sentence with the connectors. It is not necessary. A simple sentence is more than enough for us to express the patient condition in our writing. So over usage will cause, the person who is reading our letter will think, what is this? Without connector, she can't even make a single sentence. So it's not right. So it is better to avoid over usage of the connectors, like for example, in addition, as a result, therefore, consequently, subsequently, and also though, even though, however, although. So better to avoid these kind of more n number of connectors in our OET writing. Okay, and the next one is like wrong usage of the prepositions. So what is the wrong usage of the prepositions? Which means there are certain words that we are using in our OET writing recurrently. So what are the words? For example, with the compliance of. When you are writing more than one complaint, always use with the compliance of. If it is one complaint, with a complaint of. Mr. X was admitted to our hospital, not in hospital, to our hospital. In is the wrong way. I was admitted to our hospital, like that. And also reviewed by, commenced on, and discharged, like presented with. Discharge is being discharged from the hospital, referred to. So these are the common prepositions we used to write in our OET writing. So it's better to by heart it, so thereby we will not do the mistakes. And another thing is like lengthy sentence, a longer sentence. What is meaning of longer sentence, lengthy sentence? See, if we are starting the sentence from the first line and you are winding up the sentence in the last line, for example, you have written almost 5 lines without any gap and you have used n number of connectors and you have started in the first line and you have winded up in the last line, which means it is not right way of writing a letter, because this is called as a lengthier sentence or longer sentence we used to say. Instead of that, to make a short sentence is good for us. For example, Mr. X is a widower and lives alone. So this is short and sweet and easy to understand. But in case if you are writing this way, Mr. X is a widower and leads a solitary life and has the habit of drinking as well as smoking. So you see, and also as well as. So we have used 3 connectors to develop this sentence and we just drag it up to 2 lines. So it is not right. So instead of writing like that, make the short sentence. But it's not mean that Mr. X is a widower, full stop. No, that is too much short. It should not be too much short. By using a one connector and you are connecting the 2 sentence, that will be good option rather than a lengthier sentence. So these are the common silly mistakes that we are making in our OET writing that is really causing us to reduce our marks. So please keep in mind when you are writing a letter and try to prevent these kind of common mistakes that will help us to get a good mark in our OET writing. Okay, I hope these tips will be helpful for everyone who is preparing for their OET. And also, whomever wants to join for our classes, we have mock batch class, regular batch class, and also we have 30 days, 40 days, 60 days package classes, and also we have beginners, OET beginners classes also. So whomever wants to join in our class, so please call us. Our number is given us in description and join to our class very fastly. Okay, so until then, bye bye.